Spinning. There we go.
Yes,
I think
we're
we're
live.
live. We're live.
Hello.
Morning, everyone. Hold on here. Let me just mute my YouTube channel just so
Same
I
here.
don't get, whatever
Reverb?
echo.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the 5th installment of The Standard. Hold on. Now I had to mute it. Okay. So welcome, everyone. This is the camera. This is where I need to look. Welcome to the 5th installment of The Standard. Sorry for that break in between. If you haven't noticed, and I'm sure you've noticed because you're watching it right now, we are live on a Sunday morning instead of when were we doing this?
Monday nights.
We were doing it Monday nights.
Yeah, Monday nights. So
this is a little change for both me and Mike. It's going to be a change for you guys. Hopefully you have your coffee this morning. I am now in Chicago. I moved from California. I'm in an actual studio, even though this looks like there's wood over here. This is like the set that we work at. I'm like in the back. Anyway, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the show. I got Mike here. Mike, you do your little intro.
Hi there. I'm Mike Dixon, Simply Your Device. You like today's video, give him a super chat. If you don't like today's video, give him a super chat. And please hit a thumbs up this today's show, share. Tell people I know the adjustment, but real quick, I'm an avid. Let's turn this whole YouTube tech thing upside down. And I thought Sunday, well, you have access to the studio anyway, and I thought Sunday morning, why not shake up the world and you get to see it live right now instead of sitting there and drinking gallons of coffee and watching an old replay.
I like it. No, that. And so, everything Mike said, I agree with. Guys, like, subscribe, share. It really helps my channel out. It really helps what we're doing. And hopefully as time goes on, it just continues to grow.
I want to point out that the super chat is the Apple Watch fund for Jerome. So he can further his immersement into the world of iOS.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
I might as well go say hello to people in the chat right now.
Please do.
Six, what's going on? Six is always the first in here.
Six slept in the room. Okay. He got in there, got his little cot out, his little teddy bear. I can just visualize it with the PJs on. What color? What do you think? Stripe, blue stripe, maybe. Polka dots,
I like it.
I think he did. I really do,
Brian, George, what's going on, guys?
Brian was one there at 6 a.m. knocking on the door. Sexy in there.
I know. So you want to start? Let's get started.
Let's get started with some topics. Now, mind you, folks, I kind of I myself, we're both going through transitions. Jerome had the bigger transition, moving from California to Chicago, building a studio, adjusting from 70-degree weather to 5-degree weather.
I'm still not fully used to it. Like, I'm in the studio right now and it is freezing in here. Like, it is freezing.
Excuse me. Hit that comment 6 put in there. I love it.
Which one?
I'm like, what did you see? By the way, Friday night, I got a shameless plug. Friday night Tech Talk was on my channel last week. Last Friday, I was handing out points for comments. So I don't know. I might do that again, but I might lower the point score, 1 and 2 points. So that's a 1 point. Yeah.
Is this something new that you're doing?
I'm just
tallying points. No, I know that you should have a live scoreboard.
Yeah, I know. We got to work on that. I got to see kind of graphic. I don't know. Maybe get cheesy and just hold it up. The score here.
I was gonna say here too. Brian said shout out to NBA All Star.
They're in Chicago, huh?
Yeah, they're in Chicago. They had the dunk contest last night. I watched that. I wish I could have gone, but those tickets they sell out quick, and I can't remember the last time they did the All Star game in Chicago. If they did it in Chicago before,
really? Yeah,
maybe they did. I haven't kept up. So anyway,
where was I? That's right. The stories.
The story
and transition.
The reason
he was coming from Chicago. I went back to my old job from a year and a half ago. So working longer hours, but much happier mentally. And so we're so this stuff was written before the apocalypse.
The stories, you mean?
The stories. So But the first story of the night, the morning. Jerome, what happened to augmented and virtual reality tech? What happened?
You know what? I think as far as virtual reality and augmented reality, I think it's always been here. I think there was a time when they were really trying to push it. And you had a story that I'll share here. I'll share the screen in a second, but Pokemon Go, right? I think that is what propelled. I think it's first of all, I think it's what made a shift from virtual reality to augmented reality. I think that was one of the big things where people were like, okay, I can see how we can incorporate, virtual reality, augmented reality, and completely move it into an augmented segment or whatever. But other than Pokemon Go, I was actually going to talk to you about this because I was going to ask you, are there any apps that you use that use augmented reality?
No, and that's the other thing with this is it. Where does the consumer fit in on this? I yet even seeing it not as a consumer product. I mean, I see some things that are like, oh, like I see. I'm just saying, I see a lot of iPads being used as a cash register. You know what I mean? Or people taking orders. That's that's something that's like, oh, well, that's different. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the only use I've ever used for augmented reality, because I don't play Pokemon Go. I mean, I know a lot of people who do, but I don't play it. The only thing I've ever used for augmented reality is a ruler. Have you ever used a ruler app on an iPhone?
No, I hear it's good though.
I have, and I think it's worked pretty well. I think I used it once to measure the dimensions of like my bedroom. And I think it was pretty accurate, but it's been a while since I've used it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'd like to try it again just to see.
Sure.
Because I didn't have a ruler at the time. I didn't have anything to measure with. And so I was like, yeah, let me see if it works. And it seemed like it did, but I think I would like to actually have something to measure for sure and be like, yeah, this is pretty accurate. This is something I could use. That's the only really real world use case scenario I found for it. But
and I mean, the technology is great. I have nothing against it. But what is the application here to be used for? And it goes in here about well, just look, let's for a moment, TOF scanners it mentions in here.
You know what? I've never had a chance to mess with this time of flight camera or sensor.
But they put them in phones now, aren't they?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, I think the new Samsung phones have them. But even before the new S20, I think didn't the Note.
What about the Pixel? What about the Pixel? The new Pixel, doesn't that have that?
I don't think it does.
No. Okay.
Flight sensor. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have that. I don't know. I'm looking here and seeing what Will put. Will, and I keep looking. The camera's right here. Will, good morning. Will said Google and iOS Measure app. Google Maps just added visual walking directions. Oh, when you point the camera, it shows you where to go on the screen. Actually, that's really useful. That also it also makes a difference though on how well Google or Apple knows the direction you're pointing at. Because
I just want to pause real quick. That's a great feature, but we didn't know about it. It's just because he played around with it and maybe stumbled across it. Again, a consumer rated app or whatever, advertise the damn thing. You know what I mean?
I see where you're going with this.
You know what I mean? Again, another great Google feature that it's not showing up while the NBA All-Star game is on.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? You see the Pixel for five commercials and that's it. It is not, the word is not out there. I'm surprised Apple isn't jumping on something like this too, saying, look what we can do other than its great pictures and a slow fee. You know. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. It's like, again, that I remember him mentioning about it, but I never, but again, another feature that again, getting you more use out of your phone other than just playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, no, and that's a fair enough point. And I think there are a lot of developers who are making applications to use something like this, but
Mhm,
as far as marketing it, right? As far as letting people know that this is something that you can use, yeah,
mhm.
it's not heavily being marketed at all, which is a really good segue into this article that you put, that you sent for 2020 is the year Apple gets serious about augmented reality. But
Sure. Okay,
but
I'm holding my breath on that. I'm sorry.
yeah, but
Sarcasm's
no,
coming
no,
out
you're
on that.
right, because the question here is how serious are they really trying to get with
Mhm.
augmented reality? I didn't really go through this article, but did you get a chance to take a look and see what
Well,
they were
what
trying to go
well,
ahead?
they're just talking about that they're it's some at the end it's basically some speculation because Apple won't reveal too much what they got for hardware plans.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that I like to call is kicking the can around is Apple AR glasses.
Yeah, I
You know,
saw that. Right. Like this
right?
here. I mean, if there's one company that can again set a trending standard, it's going to be Apple. So if Apple decides that this is the year they're going to, make
Oh yeah,
augmented reality a thing,
yeah,
people are going to follow.
and funny you mention that is because and I give credit to Will. Will mentioned this before that or I think we might have mentioned like somebody does this. I think it was.
Mhm.
I think we were talking about was it the teardrop or the notch, and I think
Yep.
it was essential. But when Apple did the notch, it was okay, or the world went bonkers. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Right.
So somebody's got to come out with something that is more than just a Pokemon Go part aspect of this. Again, there is a perfect example with that Google Maps and he was talking about.
I
Now I'm
like that. I'm
you
just
know
trying to think of other applications. So like
that
like I'm looking at this right now with these glasses, and so
mhm.
what are they trying to what is the example they're trying to show here? Do you know?
Well,
'Cause it has a car here, but I'm just trying to see.
well, if you want to, I guess in this case, will this thing fit in a garage? You know what I mean? That and
Ah,
give you a perspective of what the size of the. I know it looks like they're in a parking garage, but you ever get some people get a big truck and they go, I don't know if it's going to fit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah, sure.
to have these glasses to do that. I know that they use augmented reality, but then again, it's big headphones or eyepieces, almost like what's those Oculus kind of
Yep,
things. They
sure.
do that on. They do use that technology for aircraft people,
Uh-huh.
for landing or simulations in
Right.
that respect. But man, they're showing here not that big bulky thing. You're putting regular Ray Bans on here almost.
Yeah, but
With this picture here.
so I guess really I can see this being more of a commercial thing than a consumer thing. I don't know if
Mhm.
commercial is the right word, but
Well,
like in more
what do
in
you call
more
that when you got
working
business?
applications.
Enterprise.
Enterprise, sure,
Mhm.
sure. Yeah, and I'm trying to look at some of the comments here because I think George was also talking about yeah, you can use it at
And Will,
IKEA, and
Will
then
was
Will
talking
said
about
that too. Home Depot, you can place furniture in your home, which is I I still don't know how that works. I mean, do
see, and
you
it just occurred to me what we're both struggling how this is going to work, and what comes to my mind was Project Tango.
uh-huh.
Remember when Project Tango came out, and that was the next best thing to pancakes. Okay, and they came out, and Zeus made a phone,
Yeah.
and Project Tango was coming. If you look at your Pixel and a bunch of your high end phones, they got the AR core already. It's baked in. It's baked
Yeah, it's
into the
baked in.
OS. You know
Right.
what I mean? But then when how long Tango was around? two
I
years,
don't
did
e
that? Not
yeah.
long, not long, and they
And
killed it.
you never heard much about it either,
They killed
so
it, right?
yeah.
So great, we got this technology, but we need to have maybe developers develop something to make it. And then there again, it goes back to the developers putting an app, a product, so you can use the hardware.
Sure. Right.
and it's not, and it's really not happening. I take this, I take this article as a puff story, not in a bad way, or when Apple comes up on their keynote going, look, we got this AR kit too, and it's
Right.
going to, it's going to even show you how to wash your clothes, and that's great. And when's the app coming out? You know what I mean? There's no real support for it, at least, outside, like a guy like Will telling you, hey, look, you can do this where you Google Maps.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and so actually, this is something I'm going to try to do right now, because Will said, type in augmented reality and search on the Apple Store, on the App Store, and
I can't do that anymore. Will, I don't have an Apple phone.
I know. Look at Mike. He no longer he's out of the Apple game, which
Well,
is
I'm still partly. I got my iPad, but it's
oh yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So when I type in augmented reality, I get something called AR Magic, which looks
Mhm.
like a drawing app. Oh, there's one called Ink Hunter, right? Where it can make it, again, I don't know how this works, but it would show you what you would look like to have a tattoo on your arm.
Okay.
So yeah.
This is where you want the spelling right.
So yeah, maybe as far as placements, IKEA has their own app too, or I guess it's called IKEA Place. And then there's just a lot of games that use AR.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean,
What was the one where is this virtual reality where you hold it and you go up and you're looking at the sky and you look down, you can see, or is that just 360? I'm thinking of 360.
that might be well, I don't know. I feel like it's still a mix. It's still a
Mhm.
mix of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. What does George say here? It says if the OEMs throw some innovation against the wall to see what sticks, most don't. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's a lot of what technology is.
Mhm.
Is
Let
I
me ask
mean,
the room, who's all of us watching here. Have any of you used any of that? And don't count Pokemon Go. Don't count Pokemon Go.
I I think that's a thing though, is I think games are either a lot more trending or they have a lot more virality than what a useful application would give
So
augmented
let me be
reality.
the smart ass that I am. Why are we going to stick a time of flight sensor in it? And I know the comments was referring to that it's going to chew up battery.
I
Let's see.
saw that. I read that.
The earlier comments, TOF sensors facing problems with short battery life and excessive heating. So why put something in there that's going to diminish your quality of a new product, that's a new hardware product that's coming out, when you don't have, again, it goes back to not everybody's, adults are buying these, not 10-year-olds buying it for, for the game,
For the game.
unless they come out, how about PUBG or was it Modern Warfare, and
Mhm.
using AR technology doing that?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's something I feel would be more useful for like when when Google had its Daydream or whatever,
Mhm.
like that kind of thing. I don't know how you would I don't know how you'd play a game like that using AR, because AR is using the reality around you to play a specific game, which is why
Right.
Pokemon Go worked really well because
And AR is being used to show you, again, IKEA, you get the couch or the desk and you want to see how it looks, you can use the AR feature. How does it fit in your room?
but that's the thing. So do you go before you go to IKEA, do you take a picture of your room? You take a picture of your room
I
and
would,
then
again, maybe this is where the developers have to come. Maybe you can click on a certain link that
Mhm.
opens up the AR feature on that particular product.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're
You know what I
saying.
mean?
So
So
you
if it's a
mean
desk and you want to see how that desk looks in that corner of your living room,
uh-huh.
you would click the link to the AR, an AR link of that desk, and then you would just move it. You would turn the phone or a tablet in any direction where you
Yeah.
want. We'll go over here. We'll look over here.
I think you make a good point though, and I feel like there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to
Mhm.
really make this a more useful application, to make augmented reality a thing.
Right.
I feel like it's still a lot of it is still half baked. I mean, I see Will here saying, you know, on the Apple Store, they have a section for AR, and I'm glad that they're doing that. But how well does it really work? I I don't. I feel like I'm in the majority when I say most people probably don't use it. Most people
Mhm.
aren't looking for anything
Mm.
like that. So
Again, is the word out? You
yeah,
heard about it in one of their keynotes. That was it. Remember, I forget what year keynote. Boy, it was AR this and AR that and AR kit. It was they were just going bonkers at that one. So
and I bet you there are people still hard at work doing that, trying to figure out what the next big thing is for it. I just it doesn't it doesn't excite me. I don't know if it excites you. I don't know if it
no.
excites people in this room for it. Um
Yeah,
will
Jerome, you use it live on
use it.
air now.
What am I gonna use? What am I gonna
I
use
don't
for
know.
AR live right now?
I don't know. Put a table somewhere. So,
Oh, I
you know.
see. Tana's in the
And
room.
I was
Tana,
just
what's
going to say
going
thank
on?
you for stopping in, sir.
Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? Um,
Will
yeah,
is educating me again.
I don't know where this is. Yeah,
Mhm.
I want to see things like this get better. I would love again to find a more useful application for it. I just other than measuring stuff. I mean, it's not a bad idea,
Yeah.
but I want more.
Hey,
So
as one of my mantras, let's get the most out of our technology, or
we really should,
most of our devices. You know.
especially since phones cost $17,000 now. You know, might as
Yeah,
well
and
get more use out of
year
it.
payments and you know, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, right
Go ahead.
here.
What you got?
I put it in the comments. Hold on here. I'm moving to the next story.
What'd you
Let's
do?
see.
Download. Okay. Mom's here. Hi,
Yeah.
mom.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I said your mom's
Yeah,
here.
on my way. Okay, mom. Have a good time. You know,
Thanks,
tell
mom.
everybody at church that I said hi, and then let them know about the standard. Okay. Check out the replay, mom. Tell your parishioners check out the replay.
Oh man, I have to get like a curtain over here. You see the
Ah!
sun starting. Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
There said, or you put in here, there are a few things you want to cover. So, Wear OS, you want to go into that? You want to
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
Wear OS?
Let me talk about where. Let me ask you. Did you ever get that Wear
So,
OS
I
watch
still,
going?
I have I reset
Jerome,
it,
come
but I
on.
have not worn it yet. I haven't tried Wear OS yet. Um, I don't know. I guess I should. I mean, I really should. I should at
I
least see how it works.
never seen you disappointed. I want to see your face of disappointment.
Wait, are you saying I'm gonna be disappointed? Is that what you're
Mm,
trying to say? It's gonna
yeah, you
disappoint
know,
me?
and I put a tweet out there. You know, you just feel, yeah, this is nice. This is good. Look at you're doing this. And the graphics are different than and I had an Apple Watch,
Mm-hmm.
and the Apple Watch has that Apple graphic, I guess you can say, just about it, and like going, okay. And I get here, yeah, this is nice. And everybody was like, hounding on it. It stinks instead. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is the first week. I'm here about to go to bed and I'm at 50%. I'm at 40%. If people say they can't make a whole day, they can't get through the day on a Wear OS watch.
Uh-huh.
This one here I picked up for $99.
Which one is that? Which one is that one
This is
again?
the Fossil Sport Watch.
Fossil Sport Watch for $99.
$99. Originally it's
Uh-huh.
$299.
Okay.
They're probably having so many nobody sold, and they're just having I call it a fire sale.
Right.
So I picked it up.
Uh-huh.
And I first day, yeah, it went, man, setting up is really painful.
Okay, so that's the first hurdle already.
Right, because what I remember the Apple Watch was it paired. It immediately had all my pretty much all my information. I had to, change it, watch face, give us some permissions. It wasn't much. It was like in a matter of a half hour, I was up and running, and then maybe give it another half hour once I had like time to sit down, just mess around with it.
Uh-huh.
Little tweaks and all.
So there's a learning curve to using Wear OS. Is that what
Oh
you're
yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
and because you've had experience now, because you've had an Apple Watch, and now you're messing around with Wear OS.
It gets better. It gets better. So I go, and all of a sudden it settles down, and I notice the battery life is increasing, and
you mean decreasing?
No, increasing. Like staying.
Your battery life's getting better
as the first week. And now I get an app on my phone for sleep. I'm very conscious about my sleep. If I stop breathing and all that stuff, and I have this, I have a few apps for that, and heart rate and all that. It's not as integrated. The fitness portion is very. Google Fit is not the best. It's okay, but then again, you have to really drill into it to get some features out of it.
For Google Fit
versus the the Apple Watch,
Apple Health,
right? And all, yeah. So, and the best part is coming up here. So here it is, weekend. I'm like, oh, what the heck, I'm like, oh man, look at this thing. And then I'm out with family, and then my son calls my wife on her phone, and she goes, "It's Mike on my phone." I go, "Okay." And then we talk, and I'm like, "Oh, what the heck?" I pick up my phone, and I missed a call. I missed 2 calls, and that's one of them. This would buzz. This would buzz the dickens out of it. You you had a call.
Yeah.
All right. I played around. I called myself. I took one of my 400 phone lines and called myself on this, and I could see the call on the phone. It's like it's on mute. And I'm tapping, and I'm tapping, and I'm hitting buttons here on the side, and I'm typing, and I'm doing everything under the sun. I could not. The watch locked up. The watch locked up, and then prevented my phone to. I could not get it to ring on my phone. I could not just even separate.
Okay, so let me just to make this short and sweet. I mean, I want you to continue, but the reason that this watch was made and what it was intended to use for, you're pretty much saying it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do.
It's painful. It's painful. It's a shame. It's a shame because they're like so close. I mean, the
hold on. You're saying they're so close, but you're saying you couldn't even pick up the phone when it rang.
Right. Well, there was that. Now that's another issue. What I mean by so close is the OS part. But then the how picky and laggy or how 1 minute it work, a few days it works flawlessly, and then all of a sudden you get a hiccup. You're tapping on it, you're trying to wake it up. I mean, it's really not it's a shame. It's really a shame how Wear OS could be a contender.
So here's my thought on that. You say it's a shame that they're very close, but how long has Wear OS been around now?
Oh yeah, I know.
And so is it going to be a shame a year from now? Is it going to be a shame?
It's amazing because they'll let things languish. They let certain things languish and they shut them down. You know that we talked about it.
Yeah.
The good one just came to mind. Hangouts. Yep. Just put a bullet in its head, okay, and just put it down.
I need people. For any of my friends who is watching, I'm sure nobody is because it's 8:30 in the morning, and I'm sure my friends wake up at 11. But for any of my friends who's watching this goddamn live stream right now, would you please stop using Hangouts? I don't know. I fight with them every day, Mike, about telling them to get off Hangouts and get on Telegram or something else. Anyway, yes, I agree. It's disappointing to see because I see Wear OS here. They have, they have this site that has 8 million things that it can do.
Mm-hmm.
They have 8,000 different watches that you can buy, but it's not performing as well as it should. Now, I know you are using a $99 watch, but what about their
it was $200? It was $299 when it was new.
So it's $300 new. What is their top of the line watch now? What is the one that's supposed to beat or be comparable to the Apple Watch? And if there is one, because I'm not privy to it. I don't keep up with.
Just go. If can you go in here real quick to fossil.com,
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah. Hold on here. Let me just find it here.
And I think, and if somebody can correct me, I thought Google bought parts of Fossil.
Did they? I don't know. Okay, here, let me share this here. So here are smartwatches and Wear OS.
Which one is it? Stop. Garnet HR. I guess that's I had that. Yeah, I had. I'm not that exact one, but I had the 5th gen one.
Mm-hmm.
I got in the 5th gen on a crazy sale for $183, and I returned it because but it bugged me because I said I didn't give it a chance, and I didn't want that window to go away of returning it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when this popped up for $99, I'm willing to lose $100. I'm willing to lose $100 just for it, because I'm planning on doing another comparison with Samsung's watches.
Okay,
that's what my thoughts are.
Which is great, but let me ask you then: was that watch that you got on a fire sale, was that watch worth the $100 you spent on
it? No,
it wasn't. It was not.
I'm willing to just right at the moment. Let me just tell you this: I got my wife a Galaxy Fit. Mm-hmm. With her for because she has a Note 10 pairs. Sure. You can use it. You can use this Galaxy Fit on anything, including iOS, but it works just a million times better on a Samsung phone. I can't believe it. She's really taken to it. And it does a million times better than this does. This does notifications, getting all her health stuff. I'm impressed. For $100 for that band for that Galaxy Fit is. That I'll recommend.
Right.
I don't know about Fitbit or Garmin or any of those, but yeah.
Yeah. So Gilio Jack said here, Google bought Fitbit, so maybe that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Gilio Jack, what's going on? How you doing? Let me just go through some of these comments because I know I was kind of ranting over there. Let me see here. So Will was saying, don't try it as far as Wear OS goes. He says, no, you shouldn't. You'll be disappointed in 2 days.
Yeah.
Is that how quickly you got disappointed, Mike? Or
no? When I had to unpair the watch and start over again, that's when I became disappointed. Because when I told you it locked up, I'm like, are you kidding me? And the setup process is excruciating.
That's so frustrating. That is so frustrating as somebody who is always, or who has for a while, has always been behind Google. Mm-hmm. My thoughts on that I hate to say it, it's been changing recently, but yeah, that's disappointing. George says
Will love that because I know where you're going with that one.
Will loves it when we say bad things about Google here. But George says here, Wear OS is great until you use the Apple Watch, and that's how I felt. I feel like once I use both, I mean, it's probably going to be night and day. After that, it's DOA. My 3 Wear OS watch. God, George, you had 3 of them.
He has older versions. 2. I think he has an old. This is semi-recent. The one that you got there on the screen is the newest generation.
Okay, well, so here's another point of mine. So George, I'm looking at George's comment here. George is saying he's had 3 Wear OS watches, 3 of them. If I ask somebody who has an Apple Watch how many Apple Watches they've had, I don't know. I don't even know if somebody who's going to tell me they've had 3 Apple Watches, because I feel like someone's going to have, unless somebody's like us who buys a new Apple Watch every year when it comes out. Is it every year when they make a new Apple Watch? I don't know.
Yeah, so for their track record, it's almost like that. Yeah.
But I will tell you that my guess is people will buy when someone goes from an older Apple Watch to a newer Apple Watch. It's not because their older one has gone to shit. It's because they just wanted something that was newer and better, but it's been working fine for them. George, I want you to answer this if you're still in this chat, to tell me why you bought 3 of them. Did you buy 3 of them because The other
Mind you,
one,
they're older. They're older ones. So I just want to point that he got them in the earlier, the good days
the
of
good
Wear
days.
OS.
Okay, so there were good days for
Mhm.
Wear OS.
Mm-hmm. That's and just also add to your comment is the 6 has says here I have Series 3 and I'm happy with it.
I see it here.
I charge it when it stops receive. Oh, I'll change it when it stops receiving update, and that's exactly the thing. What the Apple does right on all their stuff.
Yeah,
it has the my Gen 3 watch, the Apple Watch I have. It has the latest update. You know what I mean?
So yeah, because
It goes right along with the phones.
this Series 3 Apple Watch, we're on Series 5 now. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah.
And his 3 and my 3 are just as similar as far as software is concerned versus that brand new 5.
Oh, wait, so you have a Series 3 Apple Watch right now, right?
Yes.
And what are you going to do with it since you don't have the
No, I'll be getting an iPhone. I
will?
will. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the right time to strike.
And it looks like George responded and says, "In the beginning, I was fascinated by Wear OS. Stay that way until Will opened my eyes." Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And Brian says here the user experience is very similar on most Apple products, which is very true.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say this enough, but if there's one thing that Apple's been good with, it's that they're consistent, right?
Mm-hmm.
People can say it's boring, but it works.
Oh,
and
Will, I'm sorry. Will is like going, I ain't going back. I'm like going, yeah, you're going to be going back because you. But to his credit, he says it's just so peaceful right now as he says it.
And that's the thing is like I can sit here and you and we can complain about Google and what they're doing, but we still need them. We still need the Samsung of the world. We still need competition. We still need people to bring out things that we haven't seen before. We can sit here and we can bitch about it, but innovation is innovation. And I guess that's what we're here for, is to complain about it later when they don't.
Well, the conversation then on the flip side is, yeah, they do that great, but then why are they pushing augmented reality on their devices that there's nothing really out there.
Pokemon Go.
What's that?
Pokemon Go.
Oh, I'm sorry. What came over me? I don't know what came over me.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I don't.
Funny you mentioned my brother used to come here to Pittman where I live, and Pokemon Go apparently had some kind of cool thing over here. When you're doing it, it's like all the Pokemon something. I have no idea how the game plays, but there's something that's important here at a park that's like I'm pointing to literally down that way. And it's one of those things like going, what's my brother doing in town? And here he is with my old walking around, look, yeah. And I remember when Pokemon Go was strong, you just looked at people, you could see them holding up their phones and doing this, and I go, oh, they're playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I just want to go through this really quick. George says, I'm still a Google fanboy and love the things they try. I agree, George. I'm with you, even though they often take them away. And then Will says, I'm confused. And I don't know if Will's saying he's confused because of my statement about how we need the Googles and the Samsungs of the world, or are you confused about something else? Because if you're saying you're confused about, well, I don't know what you're saying you're confused about. I'm just saying
he's confused.
He's just confused, period.
Period, yeah. And going on to what the other thing I wanted to, and I'm just sharing your
experience.
My experience. Thank you. So, and just in the recent, and thanks to Will pointing this out, Michael Fisher posted about he was using Wemo stuff. Wemo, I guess, smart plugs. And apparently it was immediate issues. And I just want to I had Wemo. It was pretty simple when I first got it. And mind you, I've had these Wemo plugs probably going on 2 years or more.
Mike, real quick, I'm gonna put you on main camera here because I need to run to the restroom. So just keep going on with your story.
Anyway, and Jerome is muted. Anyway, so I was using Wemo, and then going through trying to get changing phones at times. It would always, at times, switching phones was always an issue. The firmware updates on Wemo was really, really bad. Bad as in, like, you tell that, download the firmware update, and it never updated sometimes. So recently, the newest change was I got the wife the Note 10 Plus phone, and we hooking everything up. I have some other cheapy smart plugs outside. They're meant for the outside weather, and they hook up pretty damn easy. Let's see. I'm sorry, something caught my eye. Brian, I can't highlight it, Brian. I might give you 2 points just for that alone. Google needs to take a poll and combine the best features of all the apps. Apple stuck with iMessage, FaceTime, AirDrop, and they're killing it. Google should take a note. Okay. Yeah. We need 5 more likes. We need 5 more thumbs up, by the way. 5 more thumbs up because we got 14 people in the room. Let's say here. Yep.
What's going on? Sorry. Did it say your mic is muted the entire time when I muted the mic?
It did show. It showed
that on the screen.
You can also cut yourself off. Like, here, let me see. Can I do? Oh, here.
Well, no, actually, I'm watching the live stream and it didn't say. Oh, yeah, I should have just done that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. That's
No, take your calls. It's good. It's good.
Coffee in the morning. It happens.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, I was rambling on, but at the kill time. Anyway, Will says that we need 5 more likes because we got 14 people in the room. So what do we got here?
Thank you, Will. Thank you for being a patrolman.
Yeah, we
here.
need more. Don't forget, folks, one more time. Super chat is wide open for the Jerome smartwatch, Apple smartwatch fund. Please hit it up. All right. So and share today's stream. Share today's the word on the standard. We're back Sunday mornings and coffee, and if we get more people and we get bigger super chats, I will be buying donuts for everybody.
It's coming. I
just incorporate our local bakery, which is a 10-minute walk. I could walk there, I'll burn off calories that way and come back with donuts. I like that.
You realize that your walk to the donut shop and walking back with the donuts still does not negate eating even one donut.
In my mind, it does.
In your mind,
it does.
But on the scale, it doesn't. Will says here, the developers have to push AR. Apple and Google give them the development kit, and they have to find applications to take advantage of it. Fully agree. Just don't know when that's going to happen. And as much as I like the ruler measuring app, we got to get more. We got to get more.
Yeah. Put in Brian's comment in there too.
Google needs to take a poll and combine the best features of all the apps. Apple stuck with iMessage, FaceTime, AirDrop, and they're killing it. Google should take note. I think Google's approach is so different because they hire just a ton of people. They don't have a specific direction that they want to go. So they're just like, let's make 8,000 messaging apps so that Jerome can get upset with his friends later when I try to tell him to get off of Hangouts. But I agree. They really need to maybe have a more direct approach. I like that they give creative freedom for, I think, a lot of their staff to do different things, but you can't do that, give it to the consumer and then say, now we're done. Like, you guys used it and you like it.
Let it be known.
Right.
Too. That's the thing. There we go.
George, with the $3. George, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support.
Yes. So we're up to about 25 hours for your watch so far.
Something like that. Yeah, because right now I have no watch here. So
come on, get that Wear OS watch it you got.
George, thank you again.
Thank you so much for I'll go broke and buy it now, Go get the Apple Watch. So anyway, like I was talking about the my time with the Wemo plug. Wemo smart plug, it just absolutely would not connect to my wife's phone. When you turn it on, hit the button to turn on the light, it would not turn on. It would gray it out. Then you couldn't turn it off. You couldn't back out. You couldn't do nothing. You wiped the app clean. I even went to uninstall and reinstall the app. And I said, that's it. That's it. That's it. And I said, I remember when I was on Samsung.com, I saw something with, smart stuff. I don't know. And I'm there and I'm like, oh, look at that. Look at that. So I kind of messed around and I picked up two. I picked up two for to replace the two Wemos. And then when I plugged it in like that, just like that. I mean, it's called Smart Things.
I'm about to share it right here. Samsung Smart Things. Because I also have a Wemo. I have two Wemo plugs.
Okay.
And they've worked, but then sometimes they don't work. What I would do with mine is I used to hook it up to, you ever use IFTTT?
No.
Yeah. And it was just a good way to automate stuff. So if I told my Google Assistant, turn on the lights or whatever, it would also integrate with my Wemo plug to do it. So then, it was a more efficient way of using it. But I've never used, because for some reason, and I'm telling this to the audience, if you're not aware, Mike has really kind of, I don't want to speak for Mike, but to me, it seems like Mike has kind of gone all in with Samsung stuff. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I'm very tempted. While I'm in this little area where I'm not having an iPhone, I'm really tempted to go all in and
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the day that you sit here and you tell me that Bixby is the best thing ever. Now, by then, I will probably, I'll probably tell Mike that Samsung is paying him money, because I just don't. I don't know if any of you guys have used Bixby, but I don't. I refuse to use it. That's really something that's very closed-minded of me to say.
And that's the part, and that's when I just wanted to interrupt. And please, this is nothing negative against you, but that's how the tech community is taking it to.
No, you're right though, and that's something.
In that respect, is yes, it is not. I'll say it's not the best, but you gotta really dive into it. And then once I got the smart, there's a thing here, the Smart Things app and the Smart Things. My smart TV back here, I got this thing. I'm like, oh wow, and that's when I realized you kind of like go into the Smart Thing app and you can control your TV. You can use I'm using my S9 at times as the remote.
Right.
And to build into that same app and that same, I wonder if it shows up here.
Well, I mean,
it sometimes shows up, I guess. Okay. Maybe because I haven't used the phone in a while, but all the smart plugs showed up. And really, my wife is I gave my wife the control over, but she shared the functionality of those lights to me. So I'm not the prime. She's the primary. That's it. That's a good word. She's the primary, and she shared that with me. And then it's just real quick. I managed to get Google Home app to integrate with it. So if you really don't want to use, you could use these as a non-Samsung person, but it works better with Samsung. And then I started playing with Bixby.
So you did use here we go. Here we go. Here's Mike's transition into how Bixby is better than Google. And no. I know. No, I'm just teasing.
I know. I will.
You are right though. As someone like you and me who wants to give a different voice to the tech community, it's important to not be closed-minded, which is why I said it, because that's what I am. I'm being closed-minded about it. Yes, I'm pretty sure all of us can agree it is not the best thing in the world, but it doesn't hurt to try it out.
We weren't happy because they were just putting it right in your face.
And they forced it on you. And that's something that when somebody like that forces something on me by putting a button on their phone that can only be used for Bixby, well, then it's like, no, I don't want to use it because you're forcing me to. And you have to use that like, it's like as a parent, like you got to eat your vegetables or whatever, and you got to use.
But it does seem to play well with Google products and iOS. I would feel, but if I really feel on the wife's note in my S9. It just was seamless. It was so
Really?
oh my
I
god.
would love
So,
to. I would
so
love to see it in action. I should really take a look and see, especially if there are deals going on for
now
it.
does your mom have an S9? You said.
My mom has an S9. She
Well,
does.
just go buy one plug and just
I
and
know, but I also retrofitted her with the whole Philips Hue thing. So
oh,
she has the hub and whatever. But yeah, George was saying here, so does Smart Things work with all phones, not just Samsung? And Will said
yeah,
it works with anything.
yeah. Oh, and George was saying, please
Please, oops,
speak
here we go.
about the
Speak about
smart
the
things.
Smart Things
I
hub.
don't know anything about the hub yet. I'm going to need to get that because I want to get that bulb, and I have a light.
So
I have a light here. They can. It's like a Philips Hue. I'm assuming.
so yeah, so but in order to use the light, you need a hub,
I think
correct?
you're going to need the hub. I can deal with the outlets without the
Hmm.
hub, but I think I'm going to see about that and mess around and even goes crazy. I got to see what the other things just to mess
Yeah.
around.
Well,
So
George is also asking here, does Alexa and Google speakers work with Smart Things? And I have no idea. That's something that Mike would have to
I
answer.
don't know, George, but it does seem to work with a lot of other. They do seem to play well with others. I would do a little bit more homework on it. I apologize. I never got a chance to.
I mean,
To
they do have a lot of things here, and
you know, guy, you never see that one.
I see the sensor here where it's like
Award.
if it's,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if another company makes a sensor that way,
And
right?
I think they had what do you call it? When you got fumes, that gas
Like
in
a
your
smoke detector or
no
carbon monoxide.
carbon monoxide. I think they had
Hmm.
too. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how does this button work? Is this button just like hmm, control lights, electronics, and small appliances from anywhere? Oh, okay. So it's kind of like instead of asking Google to do it, you just press the button
Right.
instead.
Right.
I
And
gotcha.
then stop for a second.
Hmm.
See the one that looks like it's got a line going through it.
A line going through it.
Bottom.
Oh, right here,
Yeah,
this one.
now
Or I'm
that's a that,
sorry,
yeah,
right here. Right.
yeah. Well,
This.
no, well, you just pointed to it.
Yeah, I'm pointing to it now.
Okay,
No.
the pointer is not showing up. Okay, but you
Oh,
did
it's
point.
not
But anyway,
right
that's a
here.
yeah. There we go. That's a
Yeah,
door sensor,
that's
and
a.
then that's a
Oh,
door sensor, and then that will initiate certain things. Like it could turn on the camera. It can
okay.
turn on lights for you. It's like a tripping mechanism that automatically knows. There we go. There we go. There we go. Some of the questions there. It works with Google, Philip Hughes, Amazon Alexa. There we go.
Yeah. So I mean, it seems like they're in its own market right now,
Mhm.
making their own stuff. And I mean, I would have to mess around with it to see. I guess I've been so stuck in that same ecosystem, right? I'm stuck with Google's ecosystem. I'm stuck with Philips now. I've been using Philips forever. Before I moved to California, and I mean now I'm back in Chicago, but before I moved to California, I was very into Sonos. That was everything
Okay.
I used at that time too. And yeah, I should really look and see what else is out there. See how things are. Again, I've used Wemo, but I'm not the biggest fan of Wemo. I've had issues with it, and it looks
Oh
like
yeah,
you have too, Mike.
Yeah, Wemo's gone. They're just paperweights right now.
Yeah,
Really. And I thought for a moment, oh, maybe I can give these to my friend. I'm like, going, why am I going to give him headaches? You know what I mean? I got friends, and sometimes I'm also making guinea pigs too of stuff. So, uh,
yeah. No,
uh,
I hear you. So
Cato, okay, go ahead.
let me go through this first. So George is
Yeah.
saying right now my Philips Hue lights work fine with my Google speakers, but can't get them to work with Alexa. Yeah, and I don't use Amazon products, so
Yeah,
I haven't had a chance to see that. Um,
right.
Now, Cato, put here. What have you heard about the Pixel Watch? I need info. You know what? I haven't really seen much about the Pixel Watch. I don't know if this is going to be. Maybe it's going to be a thing for the Pixel 5. I don't know though. I have you heard
It
anything, Mike?
No, it always bubbles to the top when it gets become pixel season, and then our hopes are dashed.
Yeah, but then also if the Pixel Watch does come out, how well is it going to
Exactly.
perform?
Exactly. That
And,
means then they up their game and made the OS better.
you know what they're going to say too is let's say the Pixel Watch generation 1 comes out. it's going to have some flaws because I can't say for sure it's going to work great because the Pixel hasn't been the best in terms of performance year over year. There's always something going on with it. But what's going to happen is this first generation Pixel watch is going to come out. It's going to have an issue or two, and then people are going to be like, "Well, it's the first generation." You know, they're working on it, but how long is that going to go for? Yeah.
How much more? Yeah, I kind of like earlier on, I was saying, well, I guess this is the death of the Pixel, courtesy of the 4, personally. But a lot of people say, no, it's going to be back. I'm like going,
you know what? I mean, I would love to see a Pixel Watch. I would love to see Google have something that competes against the Apple Watch.
Exactly. That's what I'm rooting for too.
From what from our conversation earlier, Mike, it sounds like there is no real contender right now for the Apple Watch when it comes to Wear OS products. There hasn't been anything. I mean, I would imagine that Fitbits are much better in terms of a smartwatch than something Wear OS has. Am I right by saying that?
Yeah. Well, then why did they buy Fitbit?
Well, no, and maybe that's why Google did buy Fitbit,
because they go, boy, we're just a hot mess here, and we got to get some other brains on the operation here. You know what I mean?
Brian put here, knowing Pixels, they're going to screw up the battery life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, and again, Mike, you were saying that using a Wear OS watch, the battery life wasn't the best. I mean, I'm sure it's not comparable to Apple's.
No, okay. I go on 2 days on an Apple Watch. I pushed it 2 days. It was like, then it died. I'm like, well, I went 2 days wearing the watch, not only taking it off. I didn't shower with it. That's the only thing
Yeah. Okay, so what about your bargain $99 fire sale Fossil watch? What's your battery life on that? What are you getting?
I'm getting, well, the first week I was getting a day. I could have pushed it for a day into the morning. Mind you, I was also using it at night to do my sleep recording.
Yeah.
So it does. Eventually, I figured out it had to connect. I figured that out. The app had it connect to the watch and tell it the report. So I know there's a significant drain there. But when I did a reset, the battery life is nowhere near. I have to charge it. There have been a few days where I had to take it off, throw it on the charger, go do something. This is at dinner time. Come back and put it back on.
Okay, I gotcha. Brian says here, I sadly trust OnePlus with optimization more, which makes me wonder, could OnePlus make its own watch?
Yeah.
I mean, OnePlus is they're trying to come out with a bunch of stuff, so that could be in the pipeline too. And then Will says there won't be because Android's too fragmented. I'm assuming he's talking about the Pixel Watch. But what if they just make the Pixel Watch for the Pixel? Or can it only be used for the Pixel 5 when the Pixel 5 comes out? It won't work with any other Pixels.
Yeah, give it time. They'll make it exclusive for about a year or 6 months, and all of a sudden they'll give it an update for the other Pixels to use. But get back to real quick about the Samsung and its I call it the hybrid ecosystem in talking about watches. A lot of people are saying that an alternative to an Apple Watch is about the only thing is the Samsung watches.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And that's what I'm going to be doing soon. I don't know I got a few things, but I'm going to try a Samsung watch, and I have Samsung earbuds over here from my wife's when she bought bought her Note. Got that part of the getting a Note, you get the free earbuds thing.
Yeah.
But it goes back to, I call it hybrid ecosystem. And if you really dive into their stuff and really try to let it work or see if you can work, there's some things all of a sudden it'll divert back to Google. There'll be things in there that I found that was diverting it back to Google. There's things that have it in their own app store. I'm
actually curious to see what they have. Okay, so Samsung smartwatches are expensive. I mean, but I'm assuming they probably work a lot better than what Fossil has right now.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. And I said, I got my wife that $99 Galaxy Fit, and I'm impressed with it. I'm impressed with it too.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like Samsung, they're good with their hardware. I need more time to mess around with some of their software and some of their new hardware as well.
Just I know what you said. Just it's the smart switch, the outlets like $17 at Best Buy. Just buy
That's not
one
bad at all.
and throw it on, and you'll see. Just experience the setup alone. Just see on your mom's on there, and then you find some smart things is on iOS. Try it out on that, and
No,
kind
that's
of
fair.
like, you know what I mean. Just as you'll see what I'm talking. Hopefully I'm, for me, it was. Oh my God. When I had the Wemo, when I first had the Wemo, I had to tell it actually disconnected all my devices from my Wi-Fi.
Did it really?
And eventually I had to go back in there and tell all the devices to reconnect to get it to work the first time.
That's crazy. That's so crazy to.
It wasn't like that at all. It was glorious.
Well,
so
yeah, I'll have to be a little more open-minded about that kind of stuff. So we'll see. Okay, so it looks like
I would say it's 10 o'clock. Where do you want to go?
I feel like we should just kind of cover this very last story.
Which one?
The
soap?
Yeah, the soap.
Sure.
Soap. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So Mike put this story out, which I actually was not I wasn't aware until Mike sent me this link, and I was like, okay. And so what this is something called the Phone Soap Pro. Sanitize.
Just real quick. My niece, back in like September, gotten a job at our local Amazon distribution center.
Okay.
So she's working at Amazon, and then all of a sudden she hits me up just before Christmas going, Uncle Mike, I want you to get this and review this. And she shows me this, not this one, this sanitizer for smartphones. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Yeah. At the time, it was on sale for $60 or $80 or something like that. And I'm like going, I ain't doing that. And then here comes coronavirus?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we have now this. I just want to let you know, I had the opportunity to get one of these, not this one, but a cheaper version that uses ultraviolet light, and I blew the chance. So go ahead, Jerome. I just want
really. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. When I first saw this, I was like, wait, I didn't know this was a thing. And the first question that came to my mind was, well, how does it work? And like you were saying, it uses ultraviolet light to sanitize not only your phone, but other small electronics or just other things. I mean, like in this article, it was talking about like keys even. Mm-hmm. It says with a Phone Soap Pro, you can give them a thorough sanitization in just 5 minutes. The technology behind it, powerful UVC lights. I haven't had a chance to really go in depth on how it works, but so you put the device in this little whatever it's called.
Yeah, looks like a bar of soap. You think about it,
and then you close it. But apparently you can still charge your phone while it's doing its thing.
Yeah, this one's a little bit different than the one I saw, but yes.
And how much? This one was like $120, right?
Yeah.
I like how they make it look like it's a bar of soap or something to clean it. And it says here is UVC effective.
And it's so true though. This one thing in here mentions about how dirty your stuff is.
I know it says here on average, a mobile phone harbors 18 times more bacteria than a public restroom, which is disgusting if it's that bad. I mean, I don't know about you, but I sometimes will, and I'm pretty sure most people don't do this, but sometimes I'll go over my phone and I'll just clean it a little bit, but I'm not thorough with it. I mean, you think about it, our phones are with us everywhere.
I know, but in some ways, yeah, sometimes I'll just get something catches my eye. I'm like going, ew. And I take it out of the case and I see all the lint balls and sand and stuck in between the case. And I literally then I get Clorox wipes.
A Clorox wipe. I've done that before too.
Clorox wipe and then, the Dickens out of the case and the back of it. And I just, like I said, I sold the iPhone and I took it out of the case and I'm like, ooh, I didn't get, there was dirt and everything else, just that alone. So
that's one of the things. It's one of the reasons I don't like using cases, because sometimes it just seems like the phone gets disgusting when it's inside that case. Like, again, lint gets stuck inside, dirt, whatever. And then you just take it off and it's like, I mean, yes, I understand why people need phone cases. You got to protect your phone. You don't want to break your display or whatever. I'm not telling people to not use a case.
Once in a while too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
In there. But it just, if you Google, sanitize your phone, smartphone, or phone soap or something like that, I forget how I came across this. Maybe it was a Google News. I saw this, and I'm like, I hit the brake, like what? So yeah, you think about it. Here's another accessory. You got your phone cases, your screen protectors. Now you're going to get some phone soap.
I feel like this would be a good like Christmas gift.
Mm.
Even if it was just like a grab bag gift or something like that. Because this isn't I don't know anybody. I don't know if you do. I don't know anybody that has one of these things. I don't know how new this is, if it's been around for a while or what, but I feel like this should be a thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how well it works. I think there was also a little blurb in here about if it's safe, because I don't know if it's harmful. I mean, I guess we could say that about everything, your phone with its antennas and whatever. I don't know how safe it really is to use, but yeah, it says here, when I tested it, it was a lot of fun to have around. Everyone who saw it wanted to try it out. Like, don't get me wrong. If I saw one of this, if I knew somebody had this, I would definitely want to put my phone in there. And I don't know if you see a difference. Like, once you put it in there, if there's dirt on your phone, do you pull it out and the dirt's gone? How does that work? Because of a light?
I think it's the UV light's just killing the germs.
It's killing the germs. It's not like
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
With it right here. It's killing the germs. It says here, is it effective? Well, first would be good to understand how. Okay, wait a minute. UV-C light is well-known method of killing bacteria and other pathogens. It is able to destroy 99.99% of household germs like E. coli and flu virus. Essentially, it attacks DNA, rendering them unable to reproduce. So it's
That's interesting. I mean, it's something that I never thought about. So
I say, Will, it's your turn. You get all. I know you're not buying any more tech, but there is a piece of tech you need to buy. And test it out and make a video and report back. Okay.
Yeah. Will says he's buying one. So
and he's in the medical field. Believe it or not, he's in the medical field.
That's right. That's right.
Short-term care and stuff like that. Yeah.
Isn't it like what hospitals use to sanitize? Do they use UV light to sanitize? Hospitals do that? I wouldn't know. This is your field, Will.
Yeah. So. Do you need one if you're German? What?
I feel like I was gonna say I feel like this is a pun coming on from George, and you got it before I did.
All right, I can hear.
Brian says here, hopefully the sanitizer thing can fit larger phones. I have no idea. I'm not, but yeah, it may. I mean, this doesn't look like it's big enough to fit in.
I'm already got Will on it. He's going to get one.
Wait, Will, are you gonna buy this one, the Phone Soap Pro? Or are you gonna like?
The deal master? He'll find one. Buy one get one free, and he'll wind up dropping it off here. So
he says the demo phone is an iPhone. Isn't that something?
Well,
I mean, you gotta get their attention. It's
an iPhone. No, only will. God. So anyway, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it, guys. There's one more comment here from Cato. He said here, I have an LG Watch Urbane, but look forward to a newer Wear OS on the Pixel 4 after Google buying Fossil. So Google bought Fossil too?
Yeah, I think they bought a part of them or their software part. I think they bought just like
big companies buying everyone out until there's nothing left.
Yeah,
that's a political discussion that I won't have right now. So.
Just a side note, Fossil also has other companies that make that diesel brand.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so they have other hardware companies.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I said Brian's comment.
Does that mean iPhones are the dirtiest? Brian got you, Will. That's why the iPhone's in there, because they're the dirtiest. No.
Will already is shopping right now. One day shipping Amazon.
Anyway, yeah, that's it for this week's show. Again, we're gonna run the show again next week, and I'm pretty sure, right, Mike, it's gonna be at the same time. We're gonna do 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll have another installment of the standard. If you guys haven't noticed, the standard's a little different than what you normally see on a tech show. We don't sit here and just talk about phones all day. We like to cover well, I mean, phones obviously, but we do like to cover things and maybe give other things to think about than just what everybody's complaining about or talking about in tech. Also
Ooh.
with
Oh,
Brian,
thank you, Brian.
with the late super chat here. Apple Watch Fund. Thank you. You know what? I'm gonna need to make a graph or a bar chart or whatever of where the donations are at and how close it'll get me to.
You got to.
But Brian, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. We appreciate you coming on, and you're one of the guys that's always like on point when it comes to like videos or whatever. So thank you for the support. With that being said, I know that we want the standard to be a little different, but I want to add on to that. So actually starting Tuesdays and Thursdays this week, I am going to start doing tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting, TNT Joe Fly. I'm going to start doing those live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. There's no set time frame yet, and I don't exactly know how it's going to be, but I want to have a consistent schedule. So you're going to see Mike and I live here at 9 a.m. Eastern on Sundays, and then you're going to see me just by myself live on Tuesday mornings and Thursday mornings. I really don't know what kind of an audience that's going to pull during the week because I know people work, but it's a schedule that works for me. It's a schedule that works with the studio I'm at because most of my team, they're a lot bigger than me. And, you know, they run their stuff in the afternoons and the evenings. So
I'll be listening to you in the background.
Well, there you go. There you go. Again, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for taking the time to out of your Sunday morning, you know, have some coffee, spend some time with Mike and I just to go over what's going on for this week's, you know, just coverage in tech in general. That's really about it. Feel free to again like, share, subscribe.
I was going to say, folks, we don't make this stuff up, okay? You know, I mean, they give us the freaking material. All right.
There you go. There you go. I am going to leave it with Mike to close off, though. So, Mike, feel free. Other way.
There you go.
There you go.
That's Jerome, and that's Phone Jerome. And check out his channel and check out all his neat videos. I'm looking forward to more vlogs from him on his time in Chicago and whatever other shenanigans he gets himself into. I'm Mike Dixon, Simply Your Device. You like today's video, give this video a thumbs up. Actually, share today's video. We want to build this crowd. I want this so the comments are flying. We can't even keep up. That's where I want. When I see that, I know okay, we're there. Yeah, I make videos once in a while.
I'm sorry, Will with the super chat here with $2.
We're getting $30 so far. We're up to 30.
Will, so, thank you so much. Appreciate the support, man.
And, again, share, like, and yeah, we'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah,
coffee,
thank you guys. Donuts, yeah, coffee. Beer. Remember, coffee Sunday morning. All right, guys. See you next week. Again, Tuesdays and Thursdays this week. I'll be doing live shows, a live stream, and Will again with another $1. Will, you just want to be on screen, don't you? Will, thank you for the support. Everybody, thanks again for your time. We'll see you guys next week. And again, this Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be live streaming in the morning as well. I'll see you guys soon.
See you now.
Later.